buddies want to be your buddies.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Buddy!
You got me mad now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast right here at AfterBuzz TV and on Podcast 1. I'm not sure what episode number this is, but I think we're approaching 90. Maybe it is 90. Maybe it's 91 or 92. Either way, we're creeping to 100, which means we're probably going to do something special or we'll just forget about it. I don't know. But here we are, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's see, at Wrestling Buds on the Twitter, Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. We just crossed 3,000 followers on Twitter. No less than a few weeks ago. So let's get to the intros here. I am at Jay Quasto on the Twitter. That man right there, he's the pride of Houston, Texas, the pride of the Houston Astros, and the pride of the TCU Horned Frogs. He's Chuck Rice.
Yeah, say something.
Well, that didn't work.
What the heck is going on? It's in. Wow, that's interesting.
All right. Well, I was waiting for the music, but it didn't happen.
Give me a second. Don't worry, I got you covered. Sometimes
covered.
sometimes it tends to backfire a little bit. What the hell, that one just decided not to work. It's like, you know what? No, I'm going to sit here and not do anything for you.
And better not happen on the 100th episode.
I know.
Something like that.
And normally the problem is I talk too soon. This time I waited. I was sitting there and you're like, hey, what the hell?
I was flabbergasted. I don't know what happened.
Well, Johnny, before you get to who's in studio with us today,
yep,
I want to point out that I'm wearing this extremely too big on me t-shirt today.
It's baggy. It's very
really baggy on me. The funny thing is, when I got the shirt,
it fit.
That is funny.
So how many pounds have you dropped on the Hot Young Fitness hard body tour?
Did the shirt get bigger or did you get smaller?
Oh.
Well, I think I got smaller. I got smaller thanks to this man who's been. This is an extra large t-shirt, buddy.
Okay.
I'm rocking those larges now.
So how many pounds have dropped since the 1987 hard body tour began?
Well, let me put it to you this way. At some point, several months ago, I was up to 240 pounds.
Got it.
Disgusting. When I weighed myself a week and a half ago, it was 206.
I'm on a roll, baby.
Damn, 34 pounds?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And it's all due to, also due to yourself and having a good diet and working out really hard. But you were given the guidance.
Show the arms a little bit.
I mean, there, you know.
Oh, just there it is. Oh my God, just wow. Yeah, solid. We're getting there. Bringing it.
We're getting there. We're not there yet.
So you were brought almost to the promised land by our very special guest in studio today. He is not an author of one book. He's now an author of Dose Books. The new one is called Hard Body, How to Be One. It's a funny fitness book featuring tips and strategies and stories from many top pro athletes, along with tips from his personal life and travels. Coming this fall in the next few weeks, I believe, is going to be the release.
It makes it sound like it's a movie, but it's a book, yeah.
Do you want me to do it in a movie trailer voice?
Hey, it could be a movie one day.
All right.
Could be.
It could be.
Right, here goes.
In a world where a man searched to be a hard body, how could he be one? Well, this book gives you funny fitness tips featuring tips and strategies and stories from many top professional athletes.
Hey, can you make it like The Purge, too? Like one night a year, there's no laws?
One night a year, you can have a can of Coca-Cola, but rest assured the next day, he's going to destroy you at the gym and make you push tires.
Yeah.
You could find him on Twitter at Hot Young Briley. He is Ryan Nemeth.
Thank you all. Thank you.
What's up, buddy?
There's way more people here than I thought there would be.
There's a lot in here. They're actually all invisible.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited.
No doubt, but you're not the last person we have on the show today.
Oh my God.
Another person making his return to the show. You can find him on Twitter at The Walking Dale. He's also the host of Dishing on Movies. You know he Dale Rutledge. Come on down, Dale Rutledge. I'm just gonna let him play all the way out, dude. What do you think?
Yep.
Dale's dancing. You can just hear him dancing right now.
Is this because whiskey's not a puppy anymore?
There he is.
Oh, hey guys.
Sorry, I couldn't find the actual Blue Pants guy wherever he is.
Yeah, he charges a real high price too, so it's good that you went with the actual Price is Right song.
I'm gonna double up. Here we go.
I got a puppy. I got a puppy? Bad news.
Welcome back, bruh.
How's it going, bud?
It's going really good. You know, it's going to be a fun show. Anytime Ryan Nemeth graces his presence, is that how it works? Do you grace your presence? Do you grace us with your presence?
I'm Grace. We're mutually.
Your middle name is Grace. That's what I'm trying to get at.
My first name is Grace.
First name is Grace.
My given name is Grace.
Your government name is Grace.
Government name Grace. Yeah.
On all of your paychecks, it's Grace.
Ryan, Grace, Ryan Nemeth. Is that how it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it. So, a couple announcements. First thing, the blood drive is happening this Friday and Saturday at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles. A very special thank you to, what are they, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I call them the California Angels.
You know what they are? They're confused.
A little bit. But they donated 100 hats for people who donate blood this weekend. And they just emailed me and said they have some more stuff for me. So, thank you, Angels. Anyone else who wants to reach out and donate, please feel free to do so.
Might be doing a thing if you give enough blood, they'll let you join up on the team. Play.
Maybe.
Hey, listen. You know what? They're gonna need some of that blood from your blood drive after this weekend because my Houston Astros are in town.
Are they?
And they're gonna strike blood on these guys.
What are the standings right now?
They still have a team?
The Astros are in first place by 2 games right now.
That's a huge series.
The Rangers are in second, and the Angels are in third.
That's a big series.
I expect the entire roster, the Houston roster, to be donating blood as well.
That'd be great. I think they should.
I think they should too.
I thought you were going to say that you expect them all to purge. What's that, Dale?
Baseball has changed a lot since I watched it. I remember all this blood being involved.
A lot of blood.
Yeah, it's actually now hockey and baseball mixed. It's actually kind of fun. That's what it should be.
Cool.
Also, T-shirts, y'all. No, let's get the T-shirt up on the screen here. All the shirt designs. So, Dale, explain what our overall goal is going to be here with these shirts that we're seeing, and also we have possibly 2 other designs as well. So go right ahead.
Yeah, so we eliminated 3 of the shirts last time we talked about it. We are trying to whittle them down to 2.
Yeah.
So we need everybody to get on the tweets and let us know if you've already voted. It's fine. Vote again. We don't care. We're just taking a final tally. We got to get it down to 2 shirts, and then we're going to announce the winners. And then we have 2 shirts that are being designed. They're going to be a little bit of a surprise that are going to come out when we announce the actual T-shirt. So we're going to have 4 total, but only 2 from this contest. So make sure if you haven't voted, or even if you have, to vote and let us know which ones are your favorites.
Indeed, and thus far, if you are looking at the screen, letter C is the front runner.
I knew it.
Followed by, actually, D has made a strong run, the old Starcade logo.
Your favorite one.
That is my favorite. I mean, I'm a Rumble sucker myself, but the bottom row we pretty much had to eliminate, even though Vest for Business. Dale, you had a good run with Vest for Business. You did.
I don't quite understand. That one will come around again, I'm sure. Maybe we can make it look more like an actual vest.
It's gotta be a vest for that.
Yeah, I think we gotta market a vest for you.
It could be Nest for Business and have like robin's eggs in it. Yeah.
And of course,
Might be onto something.
And of course, I'm sorry to our listener Chuck, who comes to a lot of our stuff. Not me, but the other Chuck that listens to our show.
Okay.
Your beard is a little sideways. It didn't make it.
Pretty good.
Your beard is a little sideways.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer. We also had to say goodbye to.
You were always home eating a ribeye.
And of course, we had to say goodbye to.
Tag team match.
But the sound bites are never going to leave, so rest assured for that. But yeah, so right now it looks like C and D are probably in the lead, and I'd be totally okay with either one of those. But Dale, those 2 designs we have coming are pretty sweet.
I'm really excited about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen some preliminary stuff. They're going to be dope. They're going to have, we'll see. I don't want to ruin a surprise, but you guys are going to love them. That much I know.
Hell yeah! Can we give a little hint, Dale? Can we give just a little hint?
I'll leave it up to Dale if he wants to hint it up.
I mean, I think I like surprises.
All right. I'll hold off.
I mean, Dale.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right, before we get rolling here, big birthday shout out to, he's one of the original Compadres, man. Our buddy Steven Giles. Find him on Twitter at StevieG997. It's his 18th birthday.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know where you live, but there's some strip clubs you can get into now.
You can do a lot of stuff now, right?
You can do, I don't know, what can you do at 18? You can buy
Join the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can join the military. Can you buy ciggies? Cigarettes?
I think.
Yeah, you can buy ciggies,
You
as we all call them.
Can you buy ciggies?
Depending on where you live, you can buy weed.
Hey, that's a celebration.
Our celebration.
There you go.
You can vote far away.
Yep.
Mail-in ballot. Or no, any kind of vote.
I think you could download music off the internet once you're 18.
Well, you still got to
You could rent a Segway. You could do a lot.
You have to be 18 for that?
I don't know.
Still can't rent a car.
No, you can't rent a car.
No. Many years away.
Either way,
And now
Stevie
you can
Giles.
click 18 on certain websites.
Which website?
And not lie about it.
The Wrestling Compadres website?
Exactly. You must be 18 or older to listen to this show.
Our website's very tasteful, so you have to be at least
Guy's not even
18.
wearing pants.
We have Chuck's old titties on there, so you just got to be careful.
That's true. We all.
Hey, they're gone now thanks to this guy.
We're all wearing underwear. I love it. Oh my God, that's crazy. Alrighty, so let's get right into it. First off, let's talk about the book.
Let's do
All right.
it.
It's called Hard Body, How to Be One.
I wanted to write a fitness book that wasn't boring.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have a lot of your listeners are fitness book authors, physiology writers, and academia and all that.
Well, of course.
Of course, yeah. I know your demographic.
Hell yeah.
I've read a lot of fitness books and fitness magazines and articles and blah, blah, blah. They're all very informational and very boring, and no one wants to read them.
Okay.
Right? Can you name a fitness book you've enjoyed reading?
No, and that's my question. Is I've never. This is your second book you've written. Like, how does the inspiration come to sit down, and
Sure.
actually you figure out chapter by chapter and how you want the whole thing to be constructed? Do you start as like a framework, or do you just start and just keep going until you think you're done?
I start with an outline, and then I start writing, and as the further I write, the more I gather, the more I'm like, I gotta shift this outline around a little bit. The structure kind of comes more, the structure is more fine-tuned as all the content kind of comes in. So I've had a lot of help from a lot of my buddies from WWE and other promotions. Basically, I would take someone like Seth Rollins or EC3 or whoever.
Yeah, those guys are in decent shape.
Yeah, right. You know, they're in decent shape. Or my brother,
A couple of fatties.
famous pro wrestler Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
World famous.
We'll talk plenty about him today. Don't worry.
But I'll, I get a hold of him and say, hey, I'm writing a fitness book. It's going to be kind of funny, kind of informational. Can you give me this so-and-so information, like your favorite exercise, tips on it? What do you do to motivate yourself to get to the gym every day? So you get tips from these people who are there every day busting their, can I say ass?
Sure. Please.
I know I'm asking.
Please say yes.
Those kind of people, what do? They go to these extreme lengths. Their body is their product. Not that everyone reading this will, but this is, I want to see what they're doing and how this can apply to you. So I'll take a realistic look at fitness, and I kind of make fun of the whole selfie fitness Instagram thing we have going on too.
You mean like what The Rock does? Every workout The Rock has, he's got his own photographer?
Yes. So you're going to read this book, you're going to laugh, you'll learn something, but I want you to think, okay, this is funny. It's not that big of a deal.
I think we should back it up a second, though, and also tell people, like for me, when I came to you to get help and get you to be my trainer, one of the things that I wanted to know about was, look, obviously we know you wrestled.
Yes.
And we know that to do that, you have to be, for all intents and purposes, majority of them are in really good shape and have good fitness regimens.
Yeah.
But I think, there's a lot more to you on your knowledge of fitness and that stuff that people might not necessarily know your background.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. I think that was complimentary.
There you go.
Thank you.
Just like who, taught you about fitness is
Before
really cool.
I wrestled, I started training people in Chicago in 2008. Then I got the wrestling bug, so to speak. Moved to Louisville, Kentucky, was wrestling OVW by night and training people by day. And at that time, I really thought of fitness as just a job to get by and pay the bills until I get signed to WWE. That was my mentality.
Well, when you're that young, I think that's a fair way to look at it.
Sure, it was like, how am I going to do something I enjoy and then just have time for wrestling? Once I was sent to NXT and we were training with John Cena's trainer, Rob McIntyre, at his gym, this is the ultimate fitness guru for me. Like, he is still the guy I'll go to for tips and all that.
Wow.
Hard Knock South is the name of the gym, and I'm going to go visit there next month to get a...
in Orlando or Tampa?
That is in Tampa.
Is he in the book?
He is writing the foreword to the book, yeah.
Nice.
Holy smokes,
Very
that's
excited, yeah.
amazing, man.
So I went in there kind of resentful, like, what are you going to tell me about fitness I don't already know? Oh, a million things. So going in there, getting his rundown every day was It was unbelievable. He knew it was about appearances, but he knew it was about strength and conditioning. It was a perfect blend of being strong, safe, rehabbing from injury, and just looking sweet on camera. So
wow.
Yeah.
But diet has a ton to do with that.
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the problem I run into. I think I eat healthy, I work out really hard, but then I don't always necessarily see the results. Like, I don't look like you.
The key phrase you just said, I think I eat healthy, which is everyone pretty much, I'll ask them, so what are you eating? They'll go, oh, I eat pretty clean. They'll go, okay, tell me. And then it's like,
shit.
Okay, and then they'll say, I guess I don't. Like, and that's hard. It's hard because you get comfortable when you're set in your ways, but...
My problem is the exact opposite with him, by the way. He's always telling me, you need to eat, because he's like, no, food is not your enemy.
No, it's not.
I'll come to my work, I was like, what'd you eat today? I'll be like, nothing.
And it'll be
That's bad news.
He'll be like, that's bad.
Yeah.
No, Dale, you've learned, since you moved to D.C., I know you've been doing a whole bunch of different kind of fitness activities, right?
Yeah, I got a little more free time out here, so I've been trying to change it up. But yeah, I got a trainer and been doing some yoga, and I started doing Pilates just to give it a whirl. And you guys probably wouldn't even recognize me now, but I have triceps. I have some triceps.
Okay. I see you, dog.
Hell yeah.
Are all your vests on the clearance rack now because you can't fit in them?
No, vests are adjustable in the back, so those are lifetime investments.
See, I don't even know that. I don't have a vest.
Investments, vests.
Diet was the number one thing that was hardest for me. I'm surprised, Chuck, you weren't eating a lot of stuff. I mean, we've gouged ourselves a few times together, so I'm surprised on that.
Oh, I know, but I've been trying. My diet has gotten a lot better, and thanks to Ryan, he's really helped me come up with some really good ways to eat healthy, but still enjoy what I'm doing.
We lived together for 3 months, and I didn't get a food tip from you the entire time.
You were pretty sad in your ways.
Sad in my ways?
Set. You were set in your ways.
Set in my ways by what, like in a good way?
You like certain things.
I do like certain things.
You had your staples, and there's these. You couldn't do anything about it.
What staple? Because I go in phases like a pregnant woman.
You were in a rice pudding phase.
Oh no, I wasn't a rice pudding phase. Son of a bee.
I don't know if that's still going on.
No, I've not had rice pudding in quite some time. I was in like a rice pudding cookie butter phase, wasn't I?
I just had some cookie butter.
Yeah.
A couple days ago. So good. I think I get it now. Yeah.
I need to tune this kind of stuff out.
Don't do it.
I want to hear this.
I have these weird dessert cravings, and back when we and I lived together, I was still giving into them, and that was
As you probably remember, I had some weird dessert cravings back then. I think you would walk in and see that I had eaten an entire gallon of ice cream.
Oh yeah,
or a pint or whatever. What's the size?
You'd house it in one sitting while drawing aliens on a piece of paper.
No, just every couple weeks. I don't really eat that many sweets, but every couple weeks I'll eat an entire container of ice cream in 5 minutes. That's it.
And then you have this like little kid smile on your face, like, God,
you busted. It's just all over my face.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's great. So
every time I was at AfterBuzz with Johnny, if anybody brought in cupcakes, I mean, Kathy Kelly is notorious for bringing in sweets. Johnny would have like an entire conversation with himself, like, "Ooh, those look so good. I really shouldn't, but ooh, maybe I'll just try a little bit." It's so funny.
Hey, Dale.
Shut the hell up.
Dale made a good point about Dale mentioned.
So Ryan said, would you say diet is number one, and then working out? Like, if people just want to lose some weight or get a little more fit, is it start with diet and then try to make it to the weights, or vice versa?
It's a combination of things, and sleep is in there too. But people who think it's just about going to the gym and saying, "Oh, I spent 2 hours at the gym every day. How come I'm not changing?" It's a three-pronged attack of doing the stuff in the gym, eating right, you're working out with your trainer, you're doing a variety of things. That's awesome. And then rest. You don't always have to be in the gym. You gotta get some rest and sleep and all that stuff too.
Okay. See, my thought is I only sleep like 5 hours a night, but I'm thinking, but my thoughts are, well, if I'm up and moving, I'm burning more calories. That's not necessarily the right way to do it.
You stimulate your body with the exercise, and the time you're asleep and the time that you're eating, that's when, if we want to get technical, the muscle fibers are repairing themselves and getting stronger and bigger and whatever else. If you're not getting enough sleep, the body just doesn't have a chance to do that, and you kind of dig yourself into this hole.
And therefore your recovery's not as strong.
Yeah.
Son of a...
And the only way that you're going to apparently get to make any change in your life is if you do a shit ton of burpees.
Oh no, does he make you do the... Oh,
so
no.
apparently that's the only way to have change in your life.
When you say shit ton, it's like 5.
No, come on.
Well, let's see a picture of you going.
You've done a lot of burpees. You have. That's true.
Leapfrogging over. What are you? Are you jumping off this tire, or are you somehow jumping over? What are you doing?
That is a very big tire. It weighs like 400 or 500 pounds, something like that.
What?
So, but it's a little. It's got a little. It's like, how high is that? Like 2 feet off the ground. So this guy is from Italy right here, and I only say that because my unit of measurement of how high I can jump is I can jump as high as this Italian guy.
Okay.
So I go, hey, would you mind standing here? I want to see if I can jump as high as your head. I jumped off that tire, so I ran up to the tire, hopped on it, and then like propelled up in the air.
But can you jump as high as a Bulgarian?
You betrayed me.
I have jumped as high as a Bulgarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you know him, so.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that we flipped this tire.
We did.
God.
It took 2 of us, but we moved
Oh,
it. Yeah.
Jesus.
The one next to it we could flip on your own. That's like.
And we did a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, this was at Gold's Gym Venice, the Mecca. I took Chuck Rice there, and we went through a pretty crazy outdoor workout, the ropes, the tires, sled, all that stuff.
I dig it. Well, we got 2 more pictures of you, but I want to show them at the end of the episode because
Sure,
we
yeah.
have 2 more. They're 2 very different things that are going to be fun to talk about. But Dale, you ready to get into some actione?
Oh, is that what the show is about?
Actually,
Yeah, let's get into it. It's been a fun show so far. I mean, unfortunately we have an injury to report.
No.
Just when it looks like Lana was going to get in the ring and actually do something on TV in the ring, I should say, in a match, she broke her wrist. I hear it's a Colles fracture. I don't know exactly how bad, but she'll be out a number of months.
They were saying like 4 months recovery.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to need... Colles fracture usually does mean surgical procedure. It's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, to be safe, you gotta get it fixed and take some time off.
That's a quick surgery,
I think we were going to get this match at Night of Champions, don't you?
I believe so. What do you know? I mean, do you talk to your brother about that stuff?
Lana is in the book. She's in the hard body book, and I was very excited going through her stuff when I found out she was injured, and I sent her a message going, "Is this TV injured, or are you really hurt?" And she's sucks. Yeah, that's gonna.
So it looks like your brother needs another partner. I think it's time for you to get tagged in. For you.
You're gonna tear the sleeves off, cut it into a belly shirt, then you're good to go.
There it is.
Man,
Grow out the ponytail.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there is a little one in the back now, so you know.
But the weird thing is, I understand they had to. Unfortunately, this injury just happened a few days ago, so they had to really put a spin on things, I guess, for WWE television. And this is how Michael Cole described the situation with Dolph Ziggler and Lana.
Steamy, sensual story in many ways.
I don't know how he said it with a straight face.
Is it sensual or sexual?
Sensual. A steamy, sensual story in many ways. I mean,
It just feels like they've teamed up with TMZ at this point for what they're doing with this story.
What are the many ways?
I don't know.
I'd like to have the bullet points of the many ways.
Dale, how sensual is it for you?
Oh, like really sensual, yeah.
Powerful sensual. Well, they have the matching denim. That's pretty sensual, I think.
I mean, literally, like, I think just the way that Summer Rae keeps describing your brother's body on TV.
Yeah, she almost had
like she almost gave herself an orgasm in the ring just describing.
And I dig that performance. They got a close up on her, and I really like how it made us like it made it obvious to us, like, oh yeah, she digs Dolph Ziggler, but she's pretending she doesn't. That she likes. I liked her performance doing that when she started bawling her eyes. I thought it was all right.
I mean, for somebody who doesn't really get a chance to show much of her personality, I think that this was a good way for her to at least show what she's got, and she pulled it off pretty well. I kind of like the TMZ style editing that they're doing for this. It's a little bit like how they were doing Stephen Amell and that feud, but obviously that was comic book themed, and this is like scandal type of theme. So I think I like that they're trying these things to kind of change it up and keep our attention.
I want to give WWE credit for trying because it feels like they're really trying to bring in a larger female demographic.
And in 3 hours, it's like you got to do some different things.
With having a storyline like this and kind of cutting the package together that way so it has that like reality TV, TMZ DMZ style feel, you know, incorporating more of like Total Divas aspects into the show. And with their Divas Revolution, I think they're doing a really good job of getting that female audience.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, well, Charlotte and Nikki Bella, they're coming up this Monday, and I don't know how close the record is to the end of Monday Night Raw, but basically Charlotte's trying to win the title to make sure Nikki does not become the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. But Paige and Sasha tore it up on Raw. They were getting "This is awesome" chants because it was.
Well, when is Sasha not awesome is the real question.
That's truth, man. She could be in any era and she would dominate.
Even the future.
In the future, robots don't they can't stand a chance.
Yeah, she would smoke them.
Yeah, robots don't know how to tell a story.
Wow. Programs will be programmed into them.
What robots do you know that tell stories?
I don't personally know any robots.
I was hoping you were going to say Johnny Five, but
well, I knew of him.
Okay.
We weren't very close.
That's fine. So, Dale, right now we just got Ziggler and Rusev one-on-one. I mean, do you think this is going to be a way for them to kind of bring Lana into the fold in a different way now in 4 months, or is she just kind of back to where she started?
I think they have two options, right? I mean, this can be the blow-off, and it's kind of like we just don't revisit it again until she's back, or we have some kind of weird heel turn for Summer Rae and Ziggler to actually be a couple and change the dynamic of this feud. But I think something needs to happen because it is kind of losing steam, especially without Lana around to help perpetuate it.
I mean, Rusev is cracking me up every week.
You betrayed me.
Don't ever betray him. Don't betray him.
They need to find a way to have Rusev become the babyface out of this.
He's been kind of the babyface. Ziggler's honestly been doing some heel shit. I mean,
he's evil deep down. I mean, whether he's playing a part of a good guy or a bad guy, you know he's bad. Yeah. I remember going to see him wrestle in Cincinnati at an OVW house show. He's in developmental. I talked to him before the show. I go, "So you going to be a good guy or a bad guy?" He goes, "Supposed to be a good guy, but I'm still gonna be bad." And I watched it was like a triple threat main event, and they go, yeah, he's going over as babyface, but everybody hates him. I'm like, all right, he's a bad guy.
What is the most heelish thing he ever did to you?
To me?
Up?
We were playing hide and seek.
Uh-oh.
Younger brother, me, my older brother, and my little younger brother was counting, and I go, Nick. All right, I said, Dolph Ziggler. Where should I hide? And world famous brother, Dolph Ziggler, at the age of 9 or 8 or whatever, he goes, "Here, I got a good spot."
Oh no!
Takes me down to the basement, down to the laundry room.
Throws into a wood chipper or something.
Even better, the dryer machine, laundry. He goes, "Get in there."
You were small enough to get in there?
I was small as a little kid.
Oh, okay.
He locked you in there.
This dryer was broken so that, you know when you open a dryer it stops?
Yeah.
This one would just keep going.
Oh, God.
So he goes, "Get in there." And I go, "Okay,
Sounds
cool."
like a Maytag to me.
He would.
No.
So my feet were hanging out, and I go, "Cool. This would be a good spot to hide." And then he presses the button, and then so I start spinning, my legs
No way!
Bam! Bam! So I start screaming and crying, can't escape, just like spinning like upside down, hitting my
It was
legs.
strong enough to keep flipping you around?
Yeah, so I'm screaming and crying, and my mom was like, she was pretty upset.
You probably broke the dryer too.
I think the dryer stands to this day.
No, that was a Maytag. That's a good dryer.
Yeah, it was a good dryer.
Good dryer.
I like that Johnny's worried about the dryer in this.
Is the dryer okay?
Hey, buy American.
Clearly his legs still work, so we don't got to worry about that.
Oh my God.
And my mom, I remember her going, "Don't ever do that again. You could have gotten a concussion."
Yelling at you?
Yeah.
Of course.
And I'm like, "What is a concussion?" And to me, like, my imagination starts to go, "Is that like an alien in my brain?" I was a little kid. I didn't know what a concussion was, so I thought,
it kind of is like an alien in
Did
your
your
brain.
mom know?
how many more? Yeah.
How many more concussions those Nemeth brothers would get? That is that's some entertaining stuff.
So he's a bad guy. I don't care how much you guys like him. He's evil.
Yeah, I mean, you come out in a lot of denim that kind of screams evil to me
That's
too.
evil. He's a bad guy from the 80s. Yeah.
I assume that was all his idea. The fashion.
He was born in denim.
That's true.
Rusev, Lana, my brother, they're all in the Hardbody book. I just want to say that. I just want to plug the book real fast again.
Who's the funniest guy in the book?
Funniest guy in the book?
Gotta be Big E, right?
Oh God, he's so freaking funny.
Funniest in general or in actual book?
In the book.
Dang, Sandow's pretty good.
Welcome.
Right. Sandown, my brother. Rooster. He's pretty good. There's you gotta read it. This is
No, I can't wait to read it. I also can't wait to talk about New Day.
Say the tables.
Look, they are so. It's almost like months ago when we would talk about how every time Paul Heyman speaks, he keeps getting better and better and better. That's exactly how New Day is.
They made Raw last night. I mean,
They really did.
You know, the past 2 weeks Raws have been really good. This week's Raw was, I mean, okay, to say it was bad is, I think, kind of a harsh statement. I think that just nothing happened and that it was quite boring in the sense that, like, there was some good elements to it, but as a 3-hour show, it wasn't clicking.
Yep.
And I think the saving grace was their segment backstage with Edge and Christian. That was one of the greatest things I've seen on TV in a while.
Yeah.
And then them in the main event match.
Oh my God.
Big E.
That freaking trombone.
I want to see Big E and Cena go in a match 1-on-1 with some time.
Have they ever done that? Have they?
I feel like they have,
They
but
have
they
when
didn't get some time.
He was Dolph's muscle. I think he put him.
It was probably quick.
Yeah. It's not the kind of match you want to see. It was not as long as
But Big E dominated Cena last night.
He's the man.
And it was entertaining, and Cena sold it well.
And Dale, just your thoughts on everything New Day did, from the backstage segment to my favorite response was when the Dudleys got in their face. Big E just goes, "We had other plans anyway." And then just like his delivery, and then
I like him trying to eat the kazoo.
Oh, you can tell halfway through he's like, "Oh, this is not going well. I'm gonna throw it."
I mean, New Day can do no wrong. I mean, we've been big fans of theirs ever since they came in, and everybody just wasn't getting behind them. But now they're giving them the right amount of time, and I think the crowd is actually chanting New Day rocks now rather than New Day sucks. So it's good to see them getting what they deserve, and they're just so freaking funny. Like, that's what it should be about. Obviously, we want good wrestling, but we want good entertainment too. So I wish that they would allow more of this kind of stuff on the show. But it's great to see these three guys in particular getting a chance to take the ball and run with it.
Dale, super nerdy question for you, by the way. Was Xavier playing the Final Fantasy song on the trombone last night?
How did you know that? I'm surprised you caught that.
It was that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I did right when they came out on the ramp.
Oh wait, so it wasn't when he battled Christian. What was that little jingle?
Is that what it was?
I don't remember when it was. I just remember
he played some kind of jingle, and then he goes battle to Christian, and I kind of recognized. I was like, why do I know?
I mean, that segment.
Yeah, he played like 6 notes on it, and then I started humming it along. And I was like, what the hell song is that? I was like, oh my God, it's the Final Fantasy theme song.
All right, I'm glad. I don't know how I knew that. I just picked it up because I think I've heard the commercials before, seen people playing it, but
you can admit that you play.
I do play games, but I've never actually played Final Fantasy.
I did as a kid.
Yeah,
but
you're not an RPG kind of guy, but
no.
Xavier, last we hung out with him, he was very addicted to the online MMORPG version of Final Fantasy.
So I played it on the original Nintendo. That was the last time I played it.
I'm on a roll, baby.
So that's about it.
I did.
We all know you retired from games at like SNES level.
No, PS2. I played through college.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take away your cred.
It's been a little while.
New Day it's 3 guys who are super athletic, strong, great wrestlers, and they're also so dimensional and smart in their actual real lives. All 3 of them.
Arguably three of the most intelligent people the WWE has.
Big time. And whether that came into play when this team was put together or not, I think that all those different dimensions and facets of these 3 people are just clicking so hard right now. So good.
Well, the other thing you have to really give them credit for is, oftentimes we talk about, and I think like Austin talks about this a lot too, he's like, people don't take chances.
Yep.
They don't take risks. They don't take, and I think these 3 guys, one, they were given a gimmick that initially was supposed to be played and done a different way, and they stood by their guns about like, no, that's not going to work, and really advocated for themselves.
That's not going to work. Here's a trombone.
But they're trying something different and new that it took a while to get over, but they stuck with it, and I think that that's a testament to them as well.
I think it's...
I went to New York for the U.S. Open this past weekend, and I took the train up, and as we entered into New York, in my head just popped, "Let's hear it for New Day."
New Day.
It's just like everything they do, it just is infectious, I feel.
No, you're absolutely right. And the funny thing is, it makes you wonder. There's obviously a writing staff, but I want to know when, because at this point, nobody's writing anything for them. They just,
oh Lord,
they're like, you have a back.
Especially on Xavier Woods, he says so many sentences per minute that there's no way they could write enough one.
I don't know. They might still be writing for Kofi.
I feel like they both help Kofi out. You know what I mean? Like, I think Big E and Xavier are probably kind of, all right.
Here's my only problem. I can't figure out which one's funnier, if it's Xavier or Big E, because they both have me cracking up.
Man, I don't know. E's on some next level. Xavier's brilliant, but E is on some...
I see what you did there. E's on some next level.
I mean, but no, he's on some like next level comedy shit to me. Like, he has been for quite some time.
I think that those two, no matter what roles they've been in, have find little ways to input their personalities and fun and entertaining aspects. And I think it's great that Kofi's allowed to do that now.
Yeah.
Because it seems like in the past, I mean, if you know him in real life, he's very funny, but like...
He's one of the most polite people I've met.
He's like basically superhero ninja wrestler guy, but now it's like, oh, you can actually have fun and like go nuts, and it's like, all right, finally, cool.
Well, Kofi's always been Mr. America, like I'm the stand-up guy, and then it's nice to see him, and then Big E, he can go back and forth. Yeah, he's a monstrous dude, but he's so goofy.
Yeah, he's so funny. Like cheap plug for this show, one of my favorite moments in the last how close to 100 episodes it's been was when we got to interview Big E, and he told us a story about him being a brony. Like, that had me cracking up,
I have a pretty good Big E story.
Oh, please.
Back when we were wrestling in NXT, his dad came to see one of our shows.
How big's his dad?
He's like a normal sized guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was not super keen on what wrestling is. So and I love that. I love when a non-wrestling fan like comes to watch. It's kind of like my little brother's not super huge fan, but he would come to see the shows and like give me his. I like to get the take of guy off the street, So Big E's dad was basically guy off the street. Came to watch the show, and I think the main event was Big E and Bo Dallas. And Bo was the NXT champ, or Florida champ, or whatever it was. And
so this is TV?
This was...
Not quite TV.
I don't know what this is. It may have been TV. So he beats Big E in this great match, and he's like, "What do you think about the show, Dad?" And he said, I think his thing was, how did that guy beat you? But you're so much bigger. You're so much bigger than him. And he goes, "Well, Dad, it's kind of athleticism. It's kind of a show. It's kind of entertainment.
It doesn't matter."
It doesn't matter." Yeah, he said, "Well, look at you and look at him. How did you lose?" And then I don't think he came back to a show.
I love how his dad was so kayfabe and didn't even know it.
He just thought, "You're the biggest, strongest guy here. How could anyone possibly beat you?" And he's, "Yeah, I guess it's cool." And just, I don't know how many events he's been to since then, but at the time it was a big joke. Like, "Hey, is your dad coming?" Like, nah, man. I lost that one match and I lost him. That was it.
No, man, could you imagine like being the dad that's like proud of your son? He's like, "Oh yeah, my son's gonna kick everyone's ass here. He's gonna be the beast."
Well, when people say a win-loss record doesn't matter in wrestling, that loss matters.
It does to dads.
That broke his heart.
To dads.
Yeah.
Man.
You got me mad now.
That's a damn shame.
I wonder if Miz's dad understands what's going on.
Judging by the few times I've been around him, I'm going to say no. I think he's just happy to be there.
I think he might be a future champ.
Of what?
Something.
Yeah.
No, but...
Like, Miz's dad?
Yeah, some kind of champion.
I think anything's possible.
Yeah.
Sting might be a champion in 2 weeks. Who knows?
Who knows?
We know he destroyed a statue. Dale, he destroyed that pretty statue.
You know what they say, Dale? If you could destroy a statue, you could. Bigger things are coming.
You could be a champion. Yeah. There it is. That's the phrase.
Is that what they say?
Yeah,
I've heard it.
I just heard it.
I think I've heard it on AfterBuzz before.
Yeah. Do you guys actually think that Sting is going to take the main title off of Seth?
What do you think? I am completely clueless because he's got 2 titles right now. Sting keeps getting the upper hand every single week. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I have no idea.
I think you...
I mean, that in itself makes it feel like he's not going to get the title because, I don't know.
You know...
I could see Cena taking the U.S. title, but I don't know about Sting taking that world. or WWE.
But here's the other question you have to pose when you think about this feud. How can you have a man like Sting come into the WWE, lose to Triple H at WrestleMania, do the job,
Yep.
and then lose again? Someone like Sting, I don't think fans want to see that.
I agree with you. But I don't know, because Rollins,
Realistically, I don't think Sting should win, but I really want him to.
But Rollins is the man.
I am the man.
See?
He said so.
He said so. He's the man.
I think you still have Sheamus in the wings waiting to muck it all up as well, though.
I do not look stupid.
I think he's more concerned about that right now.
How do you do that so fast?
I'm really good at what I do.
Damn.
I think, I think a perfect scenario in this would be you have someone like Sting win, and God forbid me saying this, but you have Sheamus
you're gonna say it. You're gonna say it. Down.
He comes in, cashes in right afterwards, so at least Sting got to hold that title for a second. He doesn't lose.
I just got a headache.
I agree. No one wants to see that happen, but at least you can live comfortably knowing it won't stay on Sheamus long.
I gotta stretch out after that. Dale, go ahead.
I can't believe Chuck is the one that put that out there.
I mean, it almost feels like the writing's on the wall for it, unfortunately.
Well, you didn't put it out there. I mean, it's unspoken that it's always a possibility.
Yeah,
like at any time.
Thank you.
That sounds like a Natasha Bedingfield lyric. The rest is still unwritten.
Where did you pull a Natasha Bedingfield reference?
I'm a fan of her, Dale. Is that okay with you? I'm a fan. I like her.
I like strong female voices.
She's a good songwriter.
This is the Divas Revolution, not just wrestling.
Yeah. Are you proud of me, though?
I mean, the Mindy Project.
I don't know if I'm impressed or if I feel bad. I'll figure it out.
Sheesh. I love that statue, though. It's a shame to see that statue go. That thing looked hilarious.
I mean,
Jesus holding gold.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with these stories, because for once it's not totally laid out how we know it's going to play out. Mm-hmm. And I think that's in and of itself pretty cool that they have us guessing.
Speaking of not knowing where they're going, Nikki and Charlotte. So Nikki will tie longest reigning diva. I know you mentioned it earlier, but if Charlotte, do you see her beating Charlotte or having some kind of interference on Monday so that she does break that record? Because I know they want, I've said this since this was ever even brought about, that they kind of want AJ off the books there. But do you think that they would have maybe a rematch or something at Night of Champions and maybe put the title on Charlotte at that point after Nikki does break that record?
I'm going to say that I think that they won't let her break the record, actually, from the way this is going.
But they're going to have a Belabration.
I think they're building up this Belabration and building up this thing happening so much that it almost can't happen. I feel like from a business standpoint, I understand what you mean, Dale, but at the same token, in wrestling, everyone always says never say never on anything happening, and I think a good way to at least keep, I don't want to say in the good graces, but if you ever want something
my middle name.
Yeah, Grace.
Grace.
And your first name.
And
multiple names.
Yeah. Grace, Ryan Grace Nemeth.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
But I think
I've always said you were one of the best Graces. I wouldn't say good Graces.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep any possible chance of someone like AJ coming back one day, even for just an appearance, to do go in the Hall of anything, maybe you don't have her record get beat as a a sign of hey.
I see your point. I don't think they have her feelings in mind whatsoever right now, though, just because it's
not even at all.
No, because they're a little.
No, I don't think they could care. AJ Brooks, by the way, she's officially changed all of her.
I don't think they have anyone's feelings in mind who works there, let alone someone who doesn't work there.
Well, there you go.
Right.
And that's a shoot.
Well, I think story-wise, they're building up this Belabration so much.
I want to see the Belabration.
That I think it's gonna
Belabration.
It's gonna be like any wrestling wedding that takes place. It'll never actually happen.
Oh man, now I'm thinking of the Teddy Long wedding. Now I'm thinking of the damn Teddy Long wedding.
Hold on a minute, please.
When poor, he married Crystal and poor guy had a heart attack. Gosh,
what a bad time for a heart attack.
A terrible time for a heart attack.
I think the Belabration will happen, and then comeuppance will
Commence. Come up into will commence.
I guess it helps when you're dating John Cena.
I am not dating anyone.
Maybe you should rethink that then.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. If you know what? If you were dating John Cena, he'd probably still be at WWE. Oh, come on, that's a little funny.
You're okay with that?
I like girls.
There you go. There it is.
If we get anything out of this production, my name is Grace.
Grace, Ryan, Grace, Nemeth. So Dale, what do you? I mean, I'm saying Nikki hangs on to it just because. For me in title reigns, I love to see someone really work and chase and then eventually win the title. Like when Paige won the title, she came out the night after WrestleMania and just won in 3 minutes. I was like,
I'm with you on that because in the other, it would just be like anyone from NXT now is just champ.
Right.
Here we go.
I want to see them like, and granted, it's tough because Becky Lynch is there, obviously Paige is there, Sasha Banks is there, but if they're gonna choose who the Divas champion, say it's gonna be Charlotte, I would really like to see a little bit of a struggle. They just get out of this whole, you know.
When was the last time she defended this title?
Before the Diva Revolution.
I mean, it's been a long time, so I mean, like, in some ways, you know, like, great, you can have it on paper, but like, she hasn't been a fighting champion.
I think she defended it against Paige maybe a month ago on Raw or something. Did she not?
Guys, she defends it probably every night at every show.
That's true.
You're just not at those shows.
I don't feel like defenses matter much when it comes to reigns, anyways, because they've had so many. I mean, when Dean Ambrose was the U.S. champion, what he defended like 3 times, and he was like the number 6 longest running champion.
I want to see this record broken, and I want to see the celebration.
Our celebration.
I think tying it is just as good as beating it, but I think I just don't see it going any other way than her beating that record.
But I think you're right. I think Night of Champions, though, that could be maybe a switcheroo.
Yeah. I think they have somebody gets involved. I mean, there's too many people outside the ring for this to not go haywire so that she does hang on to it. And then maybe they have it switch over to Charlotte at Night of Champions.
I feel like we see too many NXT people achieving their dreams in the picture on Instagram of I've worked so hard for it. But like every month someone else just worked so hard for it. Like,
right.
Keep this streak on, yeah.
I'm down with that.
Celebration.
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 One question I do have. Did you ever work with any of the Wyatt family down in Florida?
Yeah, sure.
I thought you did.
Yeah, one of my first matches in Florida was with Bray Wyatt.
Jesus. Was he Bray Wyatt at the time?
He was Husky Harris.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, following that, of course, I had many memorable, fun matches with Luke Harper.
He's incredible, isn't he?
He is the man. I love wrestling him, yeah.
Did you know Abe Strowman, the Sausage King of Chicago? Braun Strowman, sorry.
Who's King of Chicago?
Braun Strowman.
No, we never crossed paths, but Eric Rowan also, I've taken a number of choke slams from him.
Are any of them in the book?
Luke Harper's in the book.
There we go.
He's in the book, yeah.
They're just, I wondered because, man, Strowman, he's bigger than all of them.
He's enormous, huh? Yeah.
Oy. So yeah, they're going to be wrestling Ambrose and Reigns at Night of Champions. Actually, it's going to be a 6-man, I'm assuming now. Looks like Gordon's involved. I'm not quite sure.
Well, they're saying it's a mystery opponent for Ambrose. A mystery partner for Reigns and Ambrose, but it feels like it has to be Randy Orton at this point.
Yep. One more thing I do want to mention. I'm going to say something good about the Ascension right now.
What?
I love how Stardust has kind of teamed up with them to make the Cosmic Wasteland. Is anyone else with me on that? I think it's great. It allows the Ascension to do something and actually save face instead of losing in 2 minutes like they always do. I like it.
I mean, I think vibe-wise, that works. It can obviously evolve into something. I haven't been a huge fan of the Ascension.
Don't say it. How dare you?
I think the Ascension needs to retool their gimmick a little bit to make it work. You know, like I think just like their outfits, everything, it's goofy as hell.
Well, maybe that's what this is. I mean, hopefully this is them getting to kind of fine-tune it a little bit more.
I just love Stardust giving people orders. I think Stardust is the kind of character that should be giving people orders, and I think it's great that they found a couple people for him to work with. You know, they could be the protection for him for whatever he decides to do.
So they can be the Rocksteady and Bebop to his.
Hell yeah!
Get out of here. You're the
Because
one to
they're
fight
all
your
a bunch
fight.
of.
Yes, that's pretty good. Who's the bad guy in Space Ghost? Remember that show? Space Ghost. Remember Space Ghost?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, the alien producer of the show, but he was like the bad guy.
The green Grok or something.
I feel like he is
was a cartoon?
Praying Mantis, I think.
He was a praying mantis guy. Yeah.
The cartoon?
I see him as like Stardust giving the orders. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know Space Ghost.
We gotta find a picture of this.
I'm hitting YouTube tonight. Find a picture. Yeah, get on that for sure.
Johnny, you're old. How do you not know
I don't
Space
know.
Ghost?
I watched too much Muppet Babies as a kid. I don't know. That was my favorite cartoon growing up. So.
Oh, man.
What was? Did you say Muppet Babies?
Yeah, you damn Skippy. Yeah.
Of all your favorite cartoons, I mean, Muppet Babies was great. Don't get me wrong; it was hilarious.
It was. I don't know.
That was your favorite.
Was it Zorak or
Probably.
Moltar?
Yeah.
The green guy, the praying mantis.
I think it was Zorak.
Zorak. I think that's like Stardust.
Oh my God! It does
Isn't
kind
it?
of.
Let's see.
I totally see that.
And he's always kind of a little cranky and weird.
Yeah. Very temperamental.
Yeah, like he can give the orders to the Ascension.
That was the best talk show ever.
That's a brilliant call.
This is the best talk show ever.
That's a brilliant
That
call.
was. Now this is.
Right.
So Dale, we got a couple signings. NXT has officially signed a Japanese star, Kana, who, damn.
Kana's awesome.
Yo, she is, wow. She's going to bring some kicks and some submission holds and
Sensual.
just, it's going to be a very...
Sensuality to.
No, I do not envy. I mean, she's incredible. Like, I don't envy whoever is going to be getting into a stiff match with her because she's gonna be.
I would YouTube Kana versus Serena. So many matches right now to go watch. She's incredible. She's awesome.
No, she is for sure. I mean, Serena's fantastic too, but she's officially retired, I guess.
Yeah, her final matches were in Japan, actually. Yeah.
Wow, good for her. Just felt like moving on, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, good for Kana.
So do you think this is going to be the trend? Because, I mean, you know, WWE used to only really like to kind of create their own stars, but now it looks like, I mean, since, I don't know, I guess NXT being what it is now, they've all been looking to the indie circuit and really bringing up guys that already have some buzz and heat behind them. And we just got, Gargano and...
Swan.
Tommaso, yeah.
Richard Swan, too.
I love this trend. I mean, do you think this is the wave of the future for them?
It's a no-brainer because it's money. It's like they're signing free money. They already have someone like Kana who's got a worldwide appeal. You know, Japanese fans already love wrestling. She's one of the best out there. Boom, you bring her in. You talk about a Divas Revolution. She can get in there. She can mix it up with whoever.
I'm just happy that Rich is going to be able to afford some new shoes now.
Please tell us what you mean.
Come on, what did you tell me the other day? He's been rocking your shoes.
I'm wearing my shoes for 2 years, man.
Are they good shoes? They must be.
They were low top, like skateboard style, comfortable shoes.
Hell yeah, man.
Green and black Nikes. Hell yeah. I went with my good friend Trent Beretta to a show this past week, 2 weeks ago. I see Rich Swan there. Hey man, what's going on? I go, you know Nemeth, right? He goes, do I know Nemeth? Do these look familiar? And he raised his foot up. I'm like, hey, that's my shoe, man. And he goes, yeah, since you left Tampa, these were, I think Trent had them in his car. He's helping me like move a box of clothes or something. They fell out, and I guess he goes, can I wear these shoes? And he goes, yeah, they're Nemeth. Just take them. And he's been wearing my shoes.
I am the man.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, hopefully you can get a new pair of kicks.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
And hopefully he'll send you a pair too. Be like, hey man,
He owes
I'm
me,
wearing your.
Dale, you haven't seen Kana over in Japan. I know you've been there a couple times.
No, I haven't had the opportunity yet.
But it's
I've
fun.
seen some stuff online, though. I mean, she's definitely awesome. If you guys haven't seen her, just YouTube it up.
Amazing.
She's going to teach a lot of things to a lot of the women wrestlers, man. She's got a style unlike anyone down in Florida right now, which is really cool. And I was really excited to see last week on NXT, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, I think I said it right, Ciampa. I never say it right. I almost messed it up on commentary one time, too. They're in the tag team.
He's gonna kill him.
Classic. I know he is a scary dude when you meet him, but they're in the tag team classic. But they're not officially signed, I don't think, or maybe
They're
sort
using
of.
a lot of indie guys for this tournament, so
That's cool. It's exciting.
Hell yeah, man.
It's also for the guys that are just signed to NXT without prior wrestling experience, or there to kind of learn and blossom and all that. If I were one of those guys, I would think, oh my God, I need to get this stuff fast, because
Step my game up.
they're just hiring people to come in and take my spot. That should be my spot, right?
Dude, Gargano is unbelievable. I mean, he held on to the one Dragon Gate title for 873 days.
800 years.
Yeah, it was like 800
Good
years.
Lord.
He's a Cleveland kid.
Oh, is he? Mm-hmm. Sweet.
I worked a thing with him last Christmas. I think I managed him and a couple other dudes.
Oh, that Cleveland show?
Cleveland show, yeah.
Not the cartoon, but the show you did. The show you did.
Yeah.
Why don't you get out there,
He's
Ryan?
great and he has fun. He's loved it forever since he was a little kid. That's the best kind of person you want to see wrestle. Someone who's loved it since they were young and they want to have fun and make people happy. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Tommaso, he's someone who was in WWE when he was like 19.
Right. He had a little run back in the day.
You mentioned guys that should be worried. I feel like Baron Corbin is kind of on that path. I like that they stuck Rhino with him to hopefully maybe pick up a few things or something. I don't know.
Dale, at what point do you think we've done all we can do? What else can we possibly do to make people think you're awesome?
Right. We've talked about this.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm glad you are on the same page as we are. They did win their tag match. They defeated the Ascension. Speaking of the Ascension.
well, they were,
Come on, Ascension.
they were talking about putting Baron Corbin with Reigns and Ambrose at one point. Like, in fact, like a graphic got leaked apparently on the WWE website of that, and apparently fans poo-pooed all over it as soon as. So I think that's part of why some stuff changed, and it's not hopefully not going to be that.
Sometimes the only thing that matters is if someone put their stamp of approval on you, and it seems like someone for some reason put the stamp of approval on somebody, and no matter what you fans and podcast people think, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate too sometimes.
Maybe Sheamus part 2, but not as
Oh God.
No, but Sheamus can work. Like, yeah, we think Sheamus is boring, but dude, Sheamus is a pro. When you look at him, you say, yeah, that dude. I don't care what people say about Sheamus. He's a freaking star.
His matches are good.
Yeah.
It's not like he has bad matches.
No, hell no.
Appearance-wise, he's big, beefy, cool, weird look, and if he put a title on him, that's a champion in wrestling. Yeah,
Sheamus is a star.
champion,
I see Corbin. I just see a guy that doesn't know if he really wants to do it.
Yeah, and he reached for that like Vince McMahon approval, like maybe his passion isn't there or something, but he has that old regime vibe where it's like, he's going to be the next champion.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of vibe this guy has.
Speaking of not being sure if they're enjoying themselves, what happened with Eva Marie in her match this past week?
With who?
Eva Marie and whatever.
Where she forgot to kick out or whatever else?
I don't know what that was.
Did she know she was in the match?
I think she knew. I tell you what, I was impressed by Billie Kay. I think she did great. It's the first time I've seen her on
Australian?
TV. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
She did. She carried Eva Marie through the whole match.
It's so disappointing to see because she's training with Spanky, and and he's a good guy and he's very successful and knows the business, and like I feel like if he can't get through to her and she can't pick it up from someone like him, I don't think there's hope for her in regards to a career in the ring.
Well, but to be fair, she has only been, I don't know her athletic background, so maybe she didn't do anything that required a lot of coordination. I mean, there's so much to learn.
Dale, I would hate if anyone ever said that about me.
She's only been practicing like 6 months. I'm not saying I'm in support of it. I think it's good that they're at least making her try, because they really only seem to like her for her face anyways. Okay, they never would have made those old girls that they used to hire. They didn't do half the things that she's trying to do, so at least she's giving it a whirl.
And yes, you're right. At least she's trying, but like Ryan mentioned earlier, it's like they're bringing in these other people who are taking people's spots. Eva Marie is taking up TV time from when they've got some women down there that are far more deserving of that time at the moment because of what they're able to do. I mean, unfortunately, this isn't like back when you were in your science fair in middle school and you get a ribbon for participating. Like, she's not good.
For some people, it is like that. Sometimes it is, unfortunately.
But unfortunately, it shouldn't be. And I mean, she needs to be off TV till she's ready to be on TV.
Too late for that. That reminds me of a diorama that I made when I was a kid.
Please tell us.
I had a bunch of dinosaurs.
Lord, don't tell us. Don't encourage this.
I made a dinosaur diorama.
Let's bring up the graphic.
And there it is.
Even better. Here's the actual diorama.
No, I mean, look, we want everyone to succeed. We root for everybody, but the way that was, I mean, the way the crowd erupted.
Okay.
They erupted. It was very uncomfortable.
Erupted, then they re-erupted.
And you're not doing her any favors by putting her on TV and having her get shit on by the crowd.
You're not.
Because then they're going to lose faith in her when they see her again. So take her off TV, have her work house shows, have her work, in training, like get better, and then put her on TV.
Is she a main Total Divas girl still?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
You're just asking me.
I mean, her whole point of Total Divas this season is to make the other girls jealous. So I don't know if they're feeling like she needs to be on the roster and going for, because she keeps indicating like she's going to go for the NXT Women's Championship, which is absurd. But I don't know if that's just to play into what she's doing on Total Divas, because everyone's very jealous of the amount of attention she's getting on Total Divas, and then she goes to she goes to The Rock's premiere with him as his date and all this kind of. It's like a whole jealousy vibe this season. So I don't know if they just feel like this needs to happen to help.
I would love if that whole debacle was
for Total Divas, and the whole crowd was sort of Swerved. And then it would lead into an episode of Swerved as well.
Swerved.
Two birds, one stone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but I think you're right. I think you're asking for a crash and burn when you're letting that happen on TV. But I don't know. We hope for the best. I love Jordan and Gable as a tag team. Heck yeah, I love watching them. Dale.
I mean, I think most of the people in this tag team classic, it's really surprising. I mean, they had Neville come in with Solomon Crow, although they lost in the first round. But I mean, there's so many awesome teams to watch in this that it almost feels like a different product in a way.
Mm-hmm. Jason Jordan is someone who's been there, going on 4 years or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
College wrestling standout, awesome kid, jacked body, really good. And he's one of the people I'm talking about when they're bringing in all these indie dudes to just send right up like, hey, Kevin Steen, pretend you trained here for a minute. Okay, now you're beating John Cena on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If I'm Jason Jordan, I'm pissed because I'm like, this guy, look at me, look at him. I know he's got his internet fans, but I'm the future Kurt Angle is what I'm thinking if I'm him. Like,
well, Gable too, wasn't he an Olympian?
Gable was huge, Olympic, so. But he's pretty fresh. He's been there a year or so, something like that. Catching on quick, awesome.
Two very nice guys also.
Yeah, very, very nice. Stand up dude. Jason Jordan would do anything to help that company and the sport of wrestling. He is someone who I would be just fuming. Like, I want to get up there and do whatever it takes. This is a great tag team. Hopefully that's going to work for him.
That's why I think they went over on Neville and Crow. I think they could actually be challengers for the tag team titles in a very short amount of time. Hopefully. So. There we go. All right.
I feel a little bad for Solomon Crow, though. I feel like they haven't really figured out how to use him.
They will. He's one of those guys where as soon as they figure out the right thing for him, it's off to the races, and he'll be on main roster soon enough, probably doing some really cool gimmicks and probably with a title around his waist at some point.
Down with that, folks. Show. So yeah, hopefully Gargano and Tommaso, we will see more of them very soon, but we're going to see him this week on NXT, which would be great. One of my favorite matches I ever called was Gargano versus Adam Cole for the finals of the Wrestling Cares thing, and Gargano won the whole thing. It was like almost fast forward. It was, but they're both so incredible, and I'd love to see Adam Cole. But
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't already picked him up. I mean, he has a lot of buzz and is pretty young still. I'm sure he's on his way.
Well, I know he's exclusively contracted to Ring of Honor. He's one of the few people that has an exclusive contract, but I mean, whatever. That could always be changed. All right, before we get into, I want to do those two pictures with you. I want to do the conversation topic. Dale, we got to talk a little about Impact. It was a little messy, but a lot of stuff went down.
Yeah, a lot of changes, but it felt like when you're like making a recipe in the kitchen, you're just throwing shit in it, and you don't know how it's going to come out. But it came out all right.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. This whole story with it works as a story having Jared and Global Force Wrestling come in there and everything. But I mean, honestly, what kind of spineless and weak person is Dixie Carter to allow Jeff Jarrett back at the company? Like, I mean, look, no disrespect to Jeff, tons towards you, Dixie, because you're weak for that.
Are you hitting on her right now?
Oh, that's the last person you'll ever hear me hitting on.
Yeah.
Who's the first? Tell us.
I mean, seriously, does she have no self-respect?
I think she's desperate.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it's about her, surprisingly. I think it's about that they're really trying to tread some water here.
I mean, she is... What they need to do is, I mean, if you're going to go this route, you might as well just turn the whole company over to Jeff, bow out, and allow him, because, I mean, despite, whatever with Jeff...
Maybe that's what's happening.
The guy has been successful. When he was running the show at TNA, they were doing innovative and cool things, like the X Division.
Yeah.
That was under his regime. And
I mean, that is the storyline, though. I think that's how this could go, is that she's putting up her shares of the company versus his, and then winner takes all.
But is that just story, or is it because if that's real life, good? I mean, because
I'm sure
she's destroyed a company.
I know she has.
I feel like
she's very stubborn.
A lot of your waking hours have been spent, like the emotion in your voice, right? Like how much sleep have you lost? You're very concerned about this.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned.
It sounds like you are.
I'm bitter.
Well, I would hate to see you bitter.
Just a bit upset.
Well, shout out to Brian Myers, though, winning the tag team title with Trevor Lee. That's cool.
I do like.
Awesome.
I like seeing that. Brian, as you know, is a fabulous wrestler. Was totally underutilized when he was at WWE.
Yep.
And the guy is just one of the best wrestlers I've seen, just pure wrestling.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, him and Kevin Martinson had a great match at our Red Carpet Rumble for Championship Wrestling. Like they were on fire. And I know wasn't he the guy that would wrestle, say, like when the Undertaker was coming back? He was the guy that he's
the guy they would send to help get the Rock back ready, get Undertaker ready, get anybody ready. I mean,
solid, dependable, and good.
I mean, Edge put his stamp of approval on him, making him an edge head like that. He's
someone who left WWE and
been working nonstop.
So much ass, yeah. He's doing a little show.
Is he in your book?
Weekend. I can't tell you any more of who's in my book. You're gonna have to just wait, all right?
And buy it. Now tell me this: when it does come out, is there any website you can direct people to right now, or is it too early to really know?
You gotta follow me on Twitter, and it's all gonna be it'll be a link.
It's gonna
be. I'll put it on Kindle. It's gonna be on Amazon. It'll be. Snap your finger and you'll have my little
book. Will there be a hard copy for the hard body book?
Oh, there'll be a hard copy, all right.
Well, I like to think that every copy is hard, and every person who reads it's gonna get hard.
There we go. I will say this.
Let's say the three of the four of us are pretty hard right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you with us? Sounds like a yes.
I think I'm not. I don't know where we are anymore.
I do want to play this. Earl Hebner standing up to Jeff Jarrett. This is the most I've ever heard Earl Hebner say, I think. I love this.
I've cashed in before with you. A lot of times I've cashed in. But damn it, I'm not cashing in tonight for you or anybody else. I'm not cashing nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, Earl.
Earl is I want you to know.
Good for
Earl
him, man. Getting heated.
Is one of my favorite people in the wrestling business. And
I can see why.
Had the most fun whenever I would get to drink with that man.
Oh, jeez.
Are you hitting on him right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go. We got to the bottom of it.
Earl Hebner is the best person to go out drinking with because he has the best stories.
I thought you weren't drinking as much anymore, Chuck Rice.
This was back in the day, my friend.
Says he who drank a Coca-Cola right before we started.
Trainer alert.
And
the only thing, Hebner's great. No continuing that, but I thought it was weird to have a referee stand up to the guy who's like taking over the company, and then they got into like a weird shoving match. That
Wait, something didn't make sense at TNA, Dale?
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
no, that doesn't happen.
what are you going to do? And then lastly, EC3 defeated Matt Hardy. Now Jeff has to be his personal assistant, and EC3 continues to kill it every single week. I know you guys are good buddies.
He's the man.
He's the man.
I'll see him in a few weeks, yeah. He's in the book.
I would imagine he is.
This is a guy who has just been on fire, and it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I love it. And I love that he's in a spot where he can showcase everything he has.
He can do everything he wants.
Because for many years, that was not the case.
Dude, that title looks perfect on him. Like, that's where it should be. That's the one. If there's one shining moment of TNA, you could say right now, it's him as champion. It's like the absolute right thing to be going on. So hopefully he can.
So EC3 has a hard copy, is what we're saying.
Hey.
Oh, my intro of him in the book is pretty. I like to think is one of my most fun things I wrote in there. It's very flattering, and I say he is someone when you look at him, you don't say, is he a hard? No, he is. He's definitively a hard body.
Sure.
He's a champion. He's a Greek mold sculpted sculpture of a man. Wow. This is where you ask, are you hitting on him? Right?
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. I'm glad to see.
Funny, they have Chris Masters in there being the Adonis, and EC3 looks way better than Chris Masters currently.
Yeah. But hey, let Chris Morzetsky do what he wants. Why not?
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. So let's get into tag teams.
Let me say this. I'm bringing a new segment to this show because last week we had a lot of fun in here, just with an open, flowing conversation. And I think that as much fun as it is for us to recap and go over the current things in wrestling.
And talk about hard bodies.
And how we're all hard. I think it's also really fun. One of the things that makes wrestling fun and why we get big pops for things like when the Dudleys come back or we see Sting is there's a nostalgia factor to wrestling that
of course
is there for a lot of us.
Yep.
So I want to start having a conversation in here every week about just something from the past in wrestling that we can discuss and have a good time talking about. So whoever likes to come up with creative music and stuff, make us a theme for it, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Or topics. Send us topics.
Yeah, send us topics. Send them to me. You know where to find me on Twitter. CRice17.
So last week, the topic you guys brought up was...
Last week we talked about, if you were going to show someone who's not familiar with wrestling, like Big E's dad, if you wanted to explain wrestling to Big E's dad.
Not a Big E match.
Clearly not a Big E match where he loses to Bo Dallas. But,
oh my gosh.
What match would you show them and why? And we discussed that, and there was a little bit of controversy with it, which is always fun because it makes things interesting. But
so this week,
because we've talked a lot about tag teams, and I think the shining moment from Raw this week was when we had that segment backstage with Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and of course New Day. My topic this week is about tag teams. I want to know what you guys think. What was your favorite tag team? Excuse me, or some of your favorite tag teams. And if you could pit any two tag teams, past, present, future, against each other in a match, who would you want to see go at it?
All right. Dale, you want to lead us off?
Yeah. I would say the Hardys were kind of what kind of brought me in. They definitely grabbed my attention. Nobody was really moving like that that I knew of at that time. So I would definitely pick them for in-ring ability, but for kind of like entertainment value. I always loved the Los Guerreros.
The Hardys are pretty dang entertaining too.
Los Guerreros was an amazing tag team.
Yeah, great.
That was my choice. That's what I was going to go with.
Oh, all right.
Well, I may be speaking out of turn here.
That's okay. So you're going Los Guerreros and Hardys, basically, right, Dale?
Are we picking guys against each other, or just
just teams you like, man? Those are two really awesome teams that really like. Did you have like a favorite moment from Los Guerreros, like just out of curiosity?
Oh man, no, because I feel like they were entertaining almost every single time they ever came out. I couldn't even pinpoint.
The vignettes were
that was the best.
the vignettes were so damn funny. Like when they would steal stuff from like a woman carrying a baby and stuff.
See,
Yeah, exactly.
He's Eddie. He's Chavo. Then Oscar Eros.
We're here to clean the pool.
Yeah, right.
I love the comedy wrestling aspects too. So like, I think you definitely have to throw teams like into the mix of this conversation. There were just excellent tag teams like Booker and Goldust. You know?
Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Like that is one of the best comical tag teams there was.
Oh yeah.
But
Once Goldust got electrocuted, it was just
the Star Wars
that was
thing.
the best.
Booker's quote, "I ain't no Star Wars geek."
And like all this, like the double entendres and things, like it was just, it worked so well.
That's a great point.
But another really great one that I thought mastered the comedy aspect, and it wouldn't have been without
Eric Young and ODB.
Well, they're great, of course.
Oh yeah.
Great tag. Anyway, go ahead.
But one of my personal favorite ones was Billy and Chuck because of Rico.
Well done.
Rico the stylist.
Phenomenal.
I love that whole.
He was great. Oh, I forget. Yeah. I still remember watching that wedding in college. I was thinking
That wedding never happened.
Well, I was thinking it was really going to go down. I was like, this is the one wedding. It's going to happen. It's going to change the landscape.
Yeah.
And Eric Bischoff gives him 3 goddamn minutes. 3-minute warning.
That was
Right, Billy and Chuck were fantastic.
another time wrestling eclipsed the U.S. government. They were having same-sex marriages before.
They were ahead of it. Yeah. They were ahead of the time.
I'm super biased, but I love the Spirit Squad so much. I thought they were awesome, and I wanted to see them last way longer.
They took that gimmick and did as much as they possibly could.
I wanted to see that thing.
I loved the Spirit Squad. They were awesome.
I wanted them to evolve further and further in a similar manner the way the Shield did, where they kind of went their own separate ways and had these, I think there was potential there. One of those guys was bound to make it, but sadly they all got shipped back to wherever they came from.
Yeah, well, one of them did okay. A couple of them did okay.
One of my favorite.
They're still in the big FedEx boxes.
Oh, they are?
Just getting sent around the world.
They put some little air holes in there.
Yeah.
Still wiping shit off of their head from when the man dumped shit on them.
That was one of my top favorite wrestling moments, was seeing shit dumped all over the Spirit Squad. I love that.
I bet.
It's right up there with the milk truck.
Yeah.
One of the other things that made the tag teams division so awesome to me growing up and watching stuff was whenever they would put people together that weren't supposed to be a tag team. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the Soul Patrol.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Which, for the people who don't know, that was
Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas.
There you go.
So,
Tony Atlas.
So that was, or you had like pairings like, like someone who was always great in tag teams was John Morrison, but they put him with like The Miz.
He was, damn. Yeah. No matter what he was,
Like
Eminem had a great run.
Yeah.
Eminem, their feud with the Hardys, even when Joey Mercury got cracked in the face with the ladder and his nose just bursted open everywhere. Like, I'll never forget that moment,
That was his whole face.
Wasn't that in Texas? I think that happened in Texas, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was in Houston, actually. I you know what? It was, because I remember my dad and I were at that show.
Ooh.
So
damn.
And I remember my dad was like, "That was cool as shit. I like that guy. He took it."
But like, yeah, he sure knows how to fake bleed.
but like
that's the match Big E's dad should have watched.
That's right.
So,
well, I'm going to say for me, my favorite tag team growing up, without a doubt, was the British Bulldogs. Like, I remember every time that music hit, I would just, like, stand up and be like, yeah, my dudes are here. And they didn't have as long of a run as I think many of us hoped. I mean, they had a really bad kind of fallout, especially when Davey Boy came back to WWF, and then Dynamite Kid had a lot of hatred for him. But, when Vince bought out Stampede Wrestling, they came along with it, and man, that feud with the Islanders over Matilda when they stole the dog. I mean, it's one of the moments I remember so much as a kid. And as far as a tag team, I would love to see them be able to somehow, if generations all mixed, there's a number of tag teams. They'd be great with the Dudleys, with the Hardys, with the Guerreros. I would love to see the British Bulldogs and the Dirty Heels go at it, because British Bulldogs were a perfect combination of strength and speed and athleticism, and then the Dirty Heels would just be the perfect foils to it, because Aries and Rude are such brilliant in-ring psychologists that they would do so much to piss off the British Bulldogs, and they would be slimy and do whatever they had to do, all while being amazing wrestlers at the same time.
I like it.
That'd be a really fun match.
Here's the match that I was thinking I wanted to see. It's a weird one, but you remember when you had X-Pac teamed up with Kane?
Yeah.
And they were a pretty weird tag team.
Good move, Dale.
Oh god.
But I would want to see that tag team of now, mind you, this is when like Kane was at his best, I think, and X-Pac was still really like a really good wrestler at the time and could really go. Because people
He can go.
he can still go, but I don't think people ever give X-Pac enough credit for like being the wrestler that he was, because
He's great.
he was a fantastic wrestler. Technical, you know, especially when he was like the 1-2-3 kid, all this stuff, you know. So now remember, you also had CM Punk was a tag team with Luke Gallows, and I would love to see those two teams match up, because I think Gallows and Kane, with both of them in their primes, could have really done well together.
Yep.
And I think that
Punk and
X-Pac
Pac.
and Punk could have had some really cool exchanges in the ring in their primes of both of them being on the top of their game.
Holy shnikes.
Sure, yeah.
That's a brilliant combo.
That's a match that I'll never get to see, but
No.
I think just for, you know, when that new video game comes out and you can make your characters and do a bunch of different things, it's a match that might have to happen.
Wow. That's great.
So
Drop the mic, walk away. That's
and that's my new segment for you all this week.
What should we call it?
I don't know. I'll come up with something.
Hey, how about this? If you want, message us the title of the segment and message us some topics. And if you want to create a fun music intro, we got any musicians out there, then hook it up.
Send some hot pics, selfies.
And of course, before we leave the conversation of tag team wrestling, Johnny.
Yes.
There's one tag team that I want to see face anyone when they decide to team back up together.
And that would be
but
who?
For now.
The Mexico.
No. For now, it is
The
those
Dicks.
The Dicks.
It's those damn Lockhart brothers.
Oh, yeah.
But for now.
Okay.
For now.
Team Eric.
Team Andrew all the way.
No, please, Team Eric. Eric's my boy.
Hey, look. While Booker said it, Andrew's doing his thing.
Eric and I have our own name. We're the Zoo Bros.
I mean, we don't
wear Zubaz and we kick ass. That's what we do.
You don't wear any Zubaz. Don't be trying
If I had Zubaz, I'd be wearing them all day.
Well, you don't, so you can't call yourself
We're
that.
still the Zoo Bros.
What about the hype bros?
About those hype bros.
Are they in the thing?
They are.
How'd they fare?
I don't think they wrestled yet.
All right.
This week, I believe.
I have an idea.
What's up?
I've been drawing those two guys.
I'm sure you have.
Mojo and Zack Ryder, but I've been naming them the Vape Bros. And I have like the vape, the e-cigs.
I like it.
And so I have Zack Ryder saying, "Do you even vape, bro?" And then Mojo saying,
"I stay vaped."
I don't get vaped. I stay vaped. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I sent this to both of them. Ryder didn't find it funny. He said, "You're very weird." And then Mojo laughed. So
Of course.
I think that's gonna be my next T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. Is gonna be the Vape Bros.
You're 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of which T-shirts, let's check out the Shark T-shirt that you have right here.
I have one right
We also
here.
have a picture of you modeling it, like
That's gonna be my new
handsome
T-shirt
man.
because this one's too big for me.
You see it? Is this?
So explain to us. We all know you're a massive fan of sharks.
I'm
but,
a massive fan of sharks.
But all the proceeds to this go.
So I like money as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
I like selling shirts and keeping that money. But all the profits from these shirts are not going to my bank account. They're going to Sharks for Kids, and that's a number 4. It's an organization based in Florida and the Bahamas that does a lot of educational outreach with children. They take children on shark tagging trips. They'll do Skype classroom adventure things for kids in all these different countries. I think they've done like 60 countries now or something like that.
Wow.
It's a smaller group because there's these giant organizations like the O-Search and all that stuff. Which you guys, I'm sure you're.
And you never know where the money's going.
Yeah, and I know they're doing great things, but I kind of.
I'm just laughing because when you posted this stuff, speaking of EC3, he goes, all the money's going to this.
Yeah.
And he just replies and goes, no, it's not.
But it is. It really is. If you buy any of my other shirts, I'm keeping the money. But this particular every week, and I drew that design too. I drew the shark on there.
That's
so yeah,
a pretty sweet design.
If you feel like you're someone who cares about sea life or the oceans or sharks at all, which I hope somebody out there does.
Look, we have a very, very wide, vast
diverse,
array of good people who like
so all summer
oceanic
long,
things.
Sold these things all summer long and raised a shit ton of money and gave it all to Sharks for Kids, and I'm pretty excited.
Do they have a statue of you down there?
Hopefully. I think right at the bottom of the sea there's one.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
No, it's cool, and I'm hopefully gonna be able to go on some kind of a tagging trip with him in the next couple months. I hope. We'll see.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And if you want to get the other book that Ryan Nemeth has already written, we got a picture of it right here, and that book is called...
It's called I Can Make Out with Any Girl Here. That book?
That one, yes, that's the book. Boom, there it is.
Oh, man, I remember this one.
Yeah, so...
I brought this book, a copy of it, to my WWE tryout, handed it to the head of talent relations, and said, I wrote a book, and my brother works for you. Can I wrestle for you?
And they said, yep.
They said, no, they didn't say yep.
Oh.
But a few months later, they said yep.
They did, so
What is that book about?
That book is about 181 pages.
Hey-o!
It's the story of a college freshman who goes off to school. He's got good intentions, but he's not so smart. He ends up dating his French professor. He's got a girl back home, a couple contemporaries he's dating. He's in a love triangle, rhombus, or whatever shape that would be. It's told through his journal entries and emails and texts and all that. He gets kicked out of school. It's everything that shouldn't happen all in one semester of school. And I've been told it's funny, and I hope it still is.
Where can we get that book?
Amazon.com. You can find a paperback. They'll send it to you. Just search my name or follow me on Twitter, Ryan, whatever.
Hot Young Briley.
Hot Young Briley, yeah.
And also, Hard Body How to Be One is going to be coming out very, very soon. We'll make sure we get it on all our social medias for you. With that said, I think we should put ourselves over, Dale Rutledge, my friend.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheWalkingDale, and you can also find me on YouTube.com at Dishing on Movies.
Love it. And Ryan Nemeth, wow, I lost my voice.
Are you okay?
I'm not okay. At Hot Young Briley.
Wait, were you just hitting on me? At Hot Young Briley. Instagram is RyRyNemNem. And
that makes perfect sense.
And
there's no grace in there?
There's no. And the other way to contact me, if you just see me out in person, just just run up and say something.
There you go.
Say something nice.
Chuck Rice.
You can find me on Twitter at CRice17. You can find me on Instagram at Chuck Rice.
C Rice.
And there we go. I am at Jay Quasto. Of course, we are at Wrestling Buds, Facebook.com/Wrestling Buds. Now, remember, vote on the t-shirts. We'll post a picture up a few more times. The top 2 are going to get chosen, and next week we hope to have them all ready for you so we can get them out to you. Once again, happy birthday, Steven Giles, my boy.
Steven.
And also, blood drive this weekend. If you're in LA, please hit me up. We still have room for about 40 donors. We want to make it amazing if we can.
If you donate blood, you're not required to wear that Angel's hat, by the way.
No, you don't have to wear an Angel's hat. You can do whatever you want with it. But with that said,
if some of your blood spills on it, you'll just blend right in.
It matches right here.
Yep.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week.